The broadcast is now starting. All attention.
Yep, my name is Scott Smith. I am the District Commissioner for Horizon District and also the Council Administrator for Scoutbook. So what we're going to be going through tonight is a very, very quick introduction for Scoutbook, because this session is designed for people that are already using Scoutbook. If you are not currently already using Scoutbook, that's fine. Stick around, and there will be plenty of question and answer time towards the end. I do have a couple of polls set up. So if those pop up on your screen, I'm not quite sure how it works, but I thought it would be cool. So if they pop up, just answer the question. If you do have questions, you can shoot them in the chat or the little question box. You can also, there's a raise your hand icon. If you do that, if it's more of a lengthy question, I can unmute you so we can all benefit from your question and answer. Okay, so the first poll I launched was, what type of units do we have represented tonight? Looks like we have a majority of pack or people either in the pack or the troop. It's pretty good. Okay. So yeah, let me go ahead and launch one more. Yeah, over 75% of us are with packs. Awesome. Good to know. So the other one I want to do, if this thing will ever let me, I guess it's not gonna. That's okay. I don't know how to close that window now. There we go. Okay, so this last one is if you're currently using Scoutbook. So looks like everyone here is using Scoutbook except for a couple people. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and kick this off. I've got a whole bunch of slides prepared, but they were designed towards the new users. So since a majority of us are experienced users with Scoutbook, we're just going to go ahead and jump right into that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to share my screen with you. And, well, before I get into that, so the most recent Council Executive Board on the 12th of May went ahead and voted to extend Scoutbook.com subscription to every unit in the council. What's going to happen either is already started happening or will happen in the next couple days. A letter will be sent out to the key 3 leaders of each unit, giving them a code that they can type into their Scoutbook account, and that will give them a subscription, bringing them to the May 31st of 2019. So seeing as how this webinar is designed towards current subscribers of Scoutbook, rather than showing everyone a bunch of slides, I wanted to just go ahead and walk through what that is going to look like and what everyone is going to have to do in order to apply that subscription. As we're going through this, once again, if you have any questions or any comments of any kind, hit the raise your hand button for a question, type it in the chat. I'm going to do my best to monitor them. And perhaps one of our helpful co-organizers will yell at me if I'm either screwing up or missed a question. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and change the screens I'm sharing. So when you go to scoutbook.com, everyone's familiar with this. This is what it looks like. You're just going to log in like normal. If you're one of the key 3 that received the subscription code from the council. And the easiest way to do this, and it's going to actually be easier for me than some units. Don't mind most of the menus. Some of them you won't have options for all of these. Some of you will have more. But the easiest way to get there is through your unit menu. So for me, it's the troop. Now, as you can see, my subscription actually already expired, and that's quite all right. But what you do is once you click on the troop, you just scroll down here to this troop subscription button and just click that. And you're going to go through it as if you were just renewing your pack subscription like anything else. So you'll see who actually paid for the subscription last, things like that. So you just want to hit manage your troop subscription, and I want to manage my troop subscription, and I have a promotion code that the council was kind enough to give me. So I'm just going to type that in there and hit renew. Oh, Chris, my code's not valid yet. But that's okay. That's what you're going to do, guys. It's pretty simple. You just, once again, click on your unit.
It's not June 1st.
It's now June 1st. Is that when it kicks off?
That's when it kicks off.
Okay. Well, that's going to be slightly complicated for me tonight, but that's okay. So, yeah, I'm sorry. I lost my train of thought, guys. So just click on your unit. And one thing to remember is for those of you that are in multiple units or you're administrators for multiple units, the code is going to be unique to that unit. You can't, for example, use the troop subscription code or even the one you saw me type in for on my screen to make that work. The pack, say, for example, I'm with Troop 36, and I type in the code, and then I go to pack 36 and try to type it in. It won't work. You may get some kind of error message. Let's see if this will give me an error message. Yep. So you don't want to don't lose track of where you've placed those codes, and just remember to keep them separate for those of you that are in a separate unit. For those of you that aren't in a separate unit, it's pretty simple. So that's it. That's how you apply the subscription, and that'll be good for a full year. If you already have a subscription currently on your account, this will extend you to the end of that period, that May 31st, 2019. So you will still get some free time out of it. Once again, this is thanks to the council through Friends of Scouting campaigns and what I'm going to go ahead and do now is I'm going to open it up to you guys, and I'm going to answer any of the questions you may have. So real quick, pay attention to your little audio panel. You should see a green mic pop up. Because what I'm doing is I'm going through and unmuting everyone. Because if I don't unmute you, you will not be able to unmute yourself. So just go ahead and click that little green mic icon that's popping up there, everyone, and it will go ahead and mute you again. But that's it. That's really simple for existing subscriptions. You just have to apply the code and continue to use Scoutbook. Now, for the remainder of the time, I'm here to answer any questions you may have about Scoutbook, whether it be a general question or anything like that. So feel free to type it in the text box, turn your mic on, whatever you may want to do.
I have a question.
Yeah, Jerry, go ahead.
So I have experienced this a couple of times in the last year where we have new scouts that are coming in from the U.S. and TAC issues them a new BSA ID number.
Okay.
And the problem is with Scoutbook is that I've contacted the help desk and they've been extremely helpful, with me getting the information into our Scoutbook account. But the problem is that it will not merge. Do you have a remedy for that?
So the help desk itself, so National Support Service Center, can merge youth BSA ID numbers. Now, one thing to remember is that is not 100% connected to their Scoutbook account. So, for example, if I were to go into one of my scouts right now and delete his BSA ID number out of there and hit save, the only thing that's going to happen is he's not going to be automatically syncing with the National Council, with the advancement records on a national basis. All of his Scoutbook information will remain the same. So you should only have to change his BSA ID number to the one that is on your roster in my.scouting. Put that into Scoutbook. That should be all that you need to happen. And you may have to get a hold of the National Service Center and have them merge them. But once again, you're not trying to merge two Scoutbook accounts. You're trying to merge two national registration record accounts. And this is part of the reason why National came up with the online registration and online recharter system. It's to, when you register online now with an application, say as a new scout, not transfer scout, but a new scout, that BSA ID is supposed to, in the future, transfer with you regardless of where you go. Currently, every time you register in a new council, you get a new BSA ID number. So it shouldn't be anything new for the national office to do that. But as far as Scoutbook goes, you should just have to change their BSA ID number in Scoutbook. And you can do that in the edit profile button. Let me see if I can bring up one of my scouts to do that for you.
Yeah, I think the problem that I've had though is that when we first launched, when we migrated into Scoutbook, we used our BSA ID numbers from the TAC, but then when we did the sync, not all the information came over because all of their old BSA ID numbers, that information just didn't migrate from Scoutbook. And the problem that Scoutbook is telling me is that I have to go in and manually add that information and then delete the old account.
Right. And that's unfortunate. So what happens is, let me see if this will do what I want it to do, and then I can walk you through it real quick. What happens is when you already have information inside Scoutbook and you set it up to sync, if there is a mismatch in the information and let me step back. Sorry, I'm confusing myself. When you initially set up the sync, the Internet Advancement sync, there we go, for Scoutbook. That's how it'll do it. Okay, I'll walk you through that real quick in a second. When you set up that Internet Advancement sync, the system is checking Scoutbook versus Internet Advancement, or ScoutNet, sometimes also called a Kayla. And what it's doing, it's going, okay, you have this person, you don't have this person, you have this person, you don't have this person. Anything that it flagged as not having, and if you hit the import roster button, it imported anything that was already in Internet Advancement that it didn't think you had in Scoutbook, because it's only looking at a few criteria. Unfortunately, once those accounts are created, you do have to delete the duplicate account in order to get that sync back up. But what you can do, and I just sorted it out, and there's an easy way to do it. A lot of people go to the troop roster and whatnot, but so if you're back at the home page and you click on my dashboard, go down to my account, just click right there on my account, and you'll see my picture. It's kind of a goofy looking picture because I'm a goofy guy. And click on my connections. Then find the scout that has this dual BSA ID issue. So I used one of my less active scouts for this example. the first thing you want to do is go into his membership. And if he has a current membership, so it'll show the patrol that he's in, and my scouts elected for the Frenchies patrol. You need to end that membership. So that's all you have to do. Just end that membership and hit update. And what will happen is you will see that he won't have a current membership anymore. Or if we go further back, if you go into your troop roster, he won't have that green check mark name. So you can see I can't do anything with him. I can't edit his advancement or anything like that because he doesn't belong to my unit at the moment. Once you've basically ended his membership or removed his membership, don't delete his account. Just go to edit profile. And this is for in the case of you having two profiles, this is for the one you want to keep. You scroll down and it'll let you edit that BSA number. So once that happens, you just hit update again, put the TAC BSA number in there, go back to his membership, and essentially just remove that end date. That's all you have to do. Just remove the end date and hit update. You may have to go back in one more time, yeah. Once it pops into the current position, go back into it and just hit this position approved. And that'll update. And what that'll do is that'll bring him back into the internet sync system with the new BSA number. Does that help at all, Jerry?
I'm going to go in there right now and try it. If it does, you're a saint.
I don't know about a saint, but I've messed this up enough to know how to fix it a couple times. Timothy, you asked how many scouts will the code support? The internet subscription code will support all the scouts on your current subscription. Now, Scoutbook itself also has a very flexible plan in that once you've paid for your subscription, unless you do a huge amount of recruiting and bump yourself into the next pay bracket, and even then, they give you a very large grace period. So I've recruited more scouts and gone above my existing pay plan, and I didn't have to pay for those scouts until my next year's subscription. So hopefully that answers both sides of that question there, Timothy. But as of right now, the code will support all of your currently registered scouts.
And however many you recruit.
And there you go. Thanks, Chris. And however many you recruit. Anyone else? Walkthroughs, questions, comments, concerns?
Yeah, Scott, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, I can.
This is Robert Clyde with PAC 140 in the Netherlands.
Welcome, sir.
We have a little bit of a predicament. A couple of years ago, I don't know if you could help advise how best to manage this. A couple of years ago, we tried Scoutbook, but it didn't work as well as we thought, so we went back to ScoutTrack. However, an account was created. People were put in there as part of the trial. And it seems as though PAC 140 is kind of like merged with PAC 140 Netherlands is merged with PAC 140 of Kenya, in that there's names of people I don't recognize. So we seem to have this joint account that either needs to be completely deleted and we create two new PAC accounts.
Okay.
Refreshed. Yeah, yes. And I don't know if you've got a recommendation on how to manage that.
So that's happened in the past, and that was part of the numbers that were in the system when Scoutbook initially started to merge with ScoutNet. So the first thing to do is to send an email to scoutbooksupport@scouting.com, and it's really easy to find. If you go to your home menu, you can click this help button and click that contact us. You can shoot them an email that way. You can shoot them an email directly, and I believe it is Scoutbook support. Let me search that real quick in the forums because I know someone's posted that. That's one thing I love about these forums. You can search everything. So that's step one. You need to send them an email. And what I recommend doing, of course, there's nothing there because I probably spelled it wrong. Let's try just support at. Wow, that's a lot. Okay, that's not going to help. I will get it to you. I promise. Before the night is over, I will get it to you, sir. Anyways, you want to shoot them an email, and what I recommend doing is doing it from having one of the key three for your unit, whether that be the Cub Master, the committee chair, or whatever. Shoot them in there, and just mention your membership ID, just so that they know you are registered in that unit, because National can look that stuff up. And just shoot them an email and say, so explain the story. We had a trial account. We went back to Scout Track. We're coming back to Scoutbook, but our account has somehow been merged with this other unit. Can you please look into it? I won't say that they're great at responding, but they're great at resolving issues.
Okay, I'll try that with them. Yeah, some roots. Yeah.
So
that's
just the first step.
The people that had admin access have now moved on, so nobody's got admin access for that account also.
If by chance you can get a hold of someone who still has admin access for just through email or whatever, CC me on those emails, and I might be able to work something interesting out. But once again, step one, contact the Scoutbook support. And then once that is done, now you're basically going to enter it like it's a whole new account. You'll probably log in. There may even be scouts there. In order to do that, what you want to do, and I can't show you how to do it because unfortunately I've done this process and it only shows up once. But before your unit is activated with Internet Sync, you can import your roster from Internet Advancement. So what I would do is I would make sure all of your scouts are accurate and current in Internet Advancement, not Scout Tracks, but make sure I think you have to manually enter it, but make sure Internet Advancement is 100% matching with the Scout Tracks. Once that's done, you can import your roster, and it'll also import in all of their completed advancement. And what I mean by completed advancement is Internet Advancement only tracks completions. To be quite honest, National doesn't really need to know if the last requirement a scout has for the scout badge is to recite from memory the outdoor code. It wants to know if he's earned Scout or if he's earned Tenderfoot or if he's earned Wolf or whatever the case may be. So once all of that is in Internet Advancement, you can do a roster import, and all your scouts and all their current rank advancements, adventures, and any completed awards will be in Scoutbook. It'll make your transition a lot easier if you do that. But once it says Internet Sync is activated, or if it gives you the option to import your roster after you've already started adding scouts, do not import your roster. You're stuck doing the manual entry or a Scout Tracks import. I think they still do that. You can search for that on the forums.
Okay. I'll
go here to forums and just type in import.
Okay, that would be good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, although what we'd probably do is pick up Scoutbook formally after basically during the summer break, so everybody starts with a clean start anyway. It's nice to have the old records in there, but the most important thing is moving forward.
Right, I agree. And that's probably why it'd be best to work at some of that stuff over the summer and then, bring your den leaders in the fall. Juniper, no, I did not give out the code. The codes are being emailed out to the committee chairs. It's not something I have on this webinar. It's being sent directly to the committee chairs. So someone like me doesn't try 15 different codes trying to get the webinar working for tonight. You are quite welcome. So we have a couple of other people that have joined us late. Once again, let's see, Chris, Juniper, Michael, I'm going to unmute you as an organizer. If you'll just hit that green icon, unless you really have a question or something to say, to turn off your mic, because I have to unmute you or you won't be able to ever turn it on yourself.
Thanks.
Oh, you're quite welcome. Does anybody else have any questions or maybe need some help or maybe something easier than what Jerry and Robert gave me? Like how do you enter advancement, maybe? Oh, I see a couple mic icons lighting up.
The only thing that I can recommend that after using Scoutbook over two and a half years seems like now is that when you have scouts transfer in from the states and telling them how to add themselves to your account.
Yes. Okay. So there's a couple ways to do that, but the easiest way, great job, Michael. Um, the easiest way to do it is to have the parent add one of the leaders, one of the unit admins as a connection. It's the easiest way, and then basically you have access to those scouts, and you don't have to give them confuse them over the phone on how to do things. But to do that, you just all they have to do is pull up into their account and scroll down to their son's, or very soon, if not already, their daughter's advancement page, their roster page, and just click the oh look, it does give that to me. Click here to activate. Hey, there we go. Good job, Scott. Okay, sorry, I got distracted by myself. If you have them go into your Scouts page and just click on the connections, there will be a little add button. All they have to do is click that. And of course, my subscription is not current, so it's not going to let me do it. But when they do that, it will bring up a window where you can type in names. It's the easiest way to do it. So if you add the scoutmaster or the committee chair or whoever your unit admin is to that, then as the unit admin, you can do just like I did. You can go into my dashboard, click on my account, scroll down to my connections, and you can go in and you can move that scout into your unit. Some unique things about TAC. Most of the countries that we live in, or at least all of the countries that I live, that my district is in, don't have zip codes. So it's really hard to make sure they get populated the right way. The zip code that works for most, and this may not be true for everyone, but it works for just about everyone in my district, and I'm sure it's the same across TAC, is if you change this zip code, so change the state to AE, like APOAE for that, and then the zip code is 09613. When you do that, and then save, so hit update and then go back in, you'll have Transatlantic Council populated in here. And then you can do that and you can go down and you can select your district. That's one of the easiest ways to do it. Another way you can do it, and I'm not sure if I can show you because my subscription is expired. Let's find out. Nope, can't do it there. Yeah, that's pretty much the easiest way. If you want, you can have the parent do some of this information themselves. So once again, you go into the Scouts record, and they just need to go to membership. So you want to add a membership. You sit there and you can pick the bajillions of councils, and obviously we're going to go with Transatlantic Council. Pick the unit, and then the unit number you want to add them to, that's a 4-digit unit number. So it's usually used with your internet advancement, or it's on your recharter. Sometimes you get emails from the council or your commissioner team, and they'll use a 3 or a 6 in front of your unit number. That's your 4-digit unit number. So let's just say it's 6950. And I don't think there's a 6950 yet. And I'll tell you select a unit. So that's not there. But I want to move him to pack 36, which is in my district and is a real unit, but he's too old. So let's try to move him to pack 140 in Kenya. Pack 140, International School of Kenya. This may be something you can try too, Jerry, with one of your scouts. but well, no, that won't work because you got to be in the unit first. But so you pick that unit, you put them in a den, and you pick a date, and it'll move that membership there. The connection is still very important. Michael, you still want to make sure that you have a connection to that scout, or you won't be able to do too much. So that's why I always ask the parents just to add us as a connection. But once again, you can just go into the Scouts membership, and you want to end the current membership, and then go back a screen and add a new membership and put them into the current unit. That'll get them at least to show up on your roster. Then you might have to go through the editing of the BSA ID or anything like that to make sure they're there. That's why it's easiest just to have the parents add you. Was that what you were thinking there, Michael? Okay, Juniper, that's a very interesting question. So let's see. Before I answer this, John or Chris, maybe you can help me out. When you have an 18-year-old by chance that registers as a member of a venturing crew, do they have to fill out an adult application and a youth application, just a youth application? How does that work? Someone over 18 joining venturing. Juniper says you do have to fill out an adult. Okay. That may be part of the problem. Juniper, were you guys, was he registered in the venturing crew before he turned 18 and using Scoutbook? Oh, I was mistaken. I apologize. He's a 14-year-old. Interesting. Oh man, I deleted your question. You know, I honestly don't know, Juniper. Let's talk offline about that, and maybe I can try and work something. That's a very different situation than I've had to deal with. So I don't have a good answer for you. I apologize, but I will work with you to see if we can resolve it. Any other questions?
Hi, this is Chris. I got a quick question about my son who's a Boy Scout. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
So I am the committee chair of our Cub Scouts.
Okay.
So I don't have control over his account, but his patrol leaders and the admin for our Troop 119 is been unable to. The error we get for him in Scoutbook is it says the Scout is a part of an expired subscription. Contact the patrol or troop admin about renewing the subscription.
Okay. So you're saying that
under my
is your pack subscription expired or your troop subscription?
So he's under our troop. It's an LDS troop. So he's 11 years old. So he's in that transition period between Cub Scouts and Boy Scouts. But in the LDS Church troops, he's considered a Boy Scout.
Right.
So he falls under our troop. So under my parental controls, I created, and I have 3 other scouts underneath me, our other sons, and they're older than him. They've had Scoutbook longer than him. I don't have that problem. I just have it with his account. Now, when I go in,
and you're saying both your pack account and your and the troops account, neither one of them are expired.
Correct.
Okay.
Well, so we don't have a pack one. I just got an email today saying that the 1 year subscription. So I'm gonna try that, but it won't.
what Scoutbook thinks you're trying to do is it thinks you're trying to since you said your pack doesn't have a subscription, that kind of cleared it up for me.
Yep.
A Scoutbook is designed for the scout. So as a parent, you can track one scout for free, but if you add more than one scout, you have to have a family plan. And a couple of people have tried that. And there's a den plan and a patrol plan and things like that. So that may be part of the problem is. So try doing the membership thing like I demonstrated here with Rashid. If you go into his membership, which the way you find it is through your My Connections. Don't try and click on a unit or anything. Just go to your account, click on your connections, and go into his membership. Don't edit his profile. Just go into his membership.
Right.
Under his membership, end his current membership. So open up just the current one, and all you have to do is uncheck that position approved box if it's checked. If it's not checked, put a date ended in there and hit update.
Okay.
When you're done with that, go back one screen into his membership screen again, which if you should only see like 2 options or 3 options once he doesn't have an active membership. So you want to click on his membership and you want to add a membership. And that's where you go filling in that information again. So you want to put in the unit type. You want to put troop. You want to put the 4-digit troop number. It usually starts with a 0, but not always. And put today's date or whenever he started, hit update.
Okay. Yes. So that's why it's weird. So he is the 3rd youngest of all my Boy Scouts, and so that's why I don't have a paid family one. But for the older 2 boys, I don't have that. So it's been a unique experience. So as a parent, I can go in and because I have admin controls, I can do his updating for his progression, but none of the admin for the troop have that capability.
Right, and that's because now correct me if I'm wrong. Your scouts joined the troop first, and then you started using Scoutbook, and your son joined the pack, and you started wanting to use Scoutbook to track his stuff. Correct?
So what we did was for him. No, he started out in the pack, and then he was advanced to the troop.
Right, but when you started with Scoutbook, you started with him in the pack, and your older boys were already in the troop using Scoutbook, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's why it's Scoutbook's a little confused. That's all.
Okay. So I just need to go in and end his Boy Scout one. Because
Yes.
I don't see anything checked right now. I just see a date started. So
Yeah.
I'll do a date end.
Just do that.
Okay. Sure. Appreciate your help.
No problem. While Chris is working through that, anyone else got anything they want a quick walkthrough or anything about that? Wow, this was a quick webinar. I'm good, Chris. Look, I answered everyone's questions.
I guess that's why you get paid the big bucks, huh?
Yeah, I'm telling you, I keep trying to get them to up my volunteer pay, add another 0 in the front or the back or something, make me feel better. Okay, well, if there's no other questions, we'll go ahead and end this. One thing I do want to show you guys real quick before I kick everyone out or end the meeting or whatever it's called. The best place you can find help for the most common questions. If you go to the forums, so you can do this from your homepage right when you log in, just click forums. There's a lot of great information. You can read all this stuff if you're interested. For troubleshooting, I only do 2 things. I click this little magnifying glass in the upper right corner, and it drops down a search button or a search field, and just type in SUAC. That stands for Scoutbook User Advisory Council. If you go into the forum using Scoutbook after you've searched for SUAC, it'll probably be one of the top results. Yep. SUAC Scoutbook FAQ and resources table of contents. This is a link to Adobe Pages, videos. I mean, just about every question you can ask. In fact, Chris, maybe one of your questions may have been Scoutbook Trail Guide for Parents or something along those lines. I can't say for sure, but just about anything you can think of for common questions will be answered in there. How to activate sync, how to move between units, how do you get permission for advancement for a scout that's moved into the unit, but the parents didn't give you a connection. All of that's here, and it's not just one page. This is just the first page. There's 3 other pages, so it's a total of 4 pages. A real easy way to remember it is, if you're familiar with short URLs, bit.ly/scoutbook will take you straight there if I type that correctly, and it will. Right to that form. So just about any question you can ask would be in there. Juniper.
All right, I'm back.
Did it work, Chris?
It did. Now I just got to get the leaders to put his BSA number back in.
You might be able to do that if you unapprove his position in the membership and then go into edit profile and you can type his BSA number. Try that. Juniper, you asked if anyone else has had members drop off the roster from Scoutbook or My.Scouting or Internet Advancement. The only reason someone would drop off a roster from My.Scouting or from Internet Advancement is if their registration isn't current. So maybe someone lined through them on the recharter, or they accidentally checked the box to do not renew during the online recharter, or something along those lines. That'd be the only reason they dropped off. As far as why someone dropped off out of Scoutbook, I've never seen that happen. I won't say it's impossible. I'm just saying I've never seen it. But I have seen them drop from Internet Advancement or My.Scouting because those two are tied specifically to their membership. So if they don't have an active membership, you can't go in and add them, add advancement for them. Does that make sense? Great. I like it when I answer questions correctly. Okay. If there are no other questions, guys, I will leave you with that.
Hold on, I'll take your time up. How do I do that again for John?
Okay.
So what I did was
go back to his membership.
Scoutbook.
Yep. Go back to his membership.
Yeah.
And there, do you have a green checkbox that says position approved or something like that?
So from the
Scouts with you.
So I'm in the troop screen where it shows me the leaders and
don't
the
go
scouts.
to the troop. Don't go to the troop. Go all the way back to your homepage and click on My Dashboard.
All right, I'm there.
Then click on My Account.
Yep.
Scroll down to My Connections. And then click on your son's name. You should get something. You should see his page, with advancement and stuff like that. From there, you want to click on his membership. Basically, by doing this, you're telling advancement, I'm the dad, let me do what I need to do.
Right.
So do you have a green check mark next to his current membership?
So the one that I just now created, yes.
Okay. Click that and just uncheck the position approved box and hit update.
So it doesn't show me that option. I'm on my cell phone, so the only options I have is date started, date end, option notes, update, cancel, reassign patrol, or remove this membership.
Okay, let's try it a different way. So now that I don't have Rashid selected anymore, because he's not registered, click on edit profile. Is his BSA number grayed out, or can you type in there?
Let's see. No, I can type in there.
Okay, so just put his new membership number there and hit update. What does need to happen is you
So
need to add that connection to one of those unit admins, like the troop, the scoutmaster or the committee chair, so that they can go in and make sure he's put into the right patrol and give permissions to the other adults that need to set up his advancement as a Boy Scout.
So what's funny is that his den leader up till a couple months ago had no problems, and then all of a sudden, I think somebody probably just didn't update.
The reason for that is
And
you can add unlimited adults to Scoutbook. Scoutbook is designed to track scouts, so you can add as many adults as you want. They don't count towards your subscription. That's why your den leader didn't have a problem doing it.
Yeah. So the whole troop had no problems, and then just a couple months ago, and so the short workaround I was able to, after the leader update his book, then I would, on her behalf, go in and do the updates.
Right.
You know, as committee chair, they, for some reason, give me some admin controls to kind of help out with both the Cub Scouts and the Boy Scouts.
Yep.
Plus, there's not a whole lot of people that are really eager to learn Scoutbook, and I'm one of those people who had a really good
Yeah, Scoutbook's a great thing. Yeah, I love Scoutbook. My favorite thing is the messaging. I don't have to memorize or even save emails anymore. I love it. I just send emails through there. Okay.
Yeah, we're kind of trying to get it from that.
Yeah. Well,
So,
if that's it for questions, I'm gonna go ahead and call it a night for the presentation, guys. Juniper, if you want to stick around, I'll stick on the line with you and see if I can help work out through your issue. But for everyone else, thanks again. Here's my contact information on the slide, scott.smith@horizondistrict.org. There's my phone number. Don't hesitate to reach out to me with any questions. I mean, worst case scenario, add me to your unit as a unit admin, and I'll see what I can do. I'm pretty familiar with Scoutbook. So once again, thanks everyone. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoy using Scoutbook. And please reach out at any time. Thank your Friends of Scouting donators and the executive board for giving us this subscription. Thanks again, everyone.